Recently, my wife and I were in South Haven, Michigan, and enjoyed going to a cocktail bar that was set up as kind of a speakeasy. And because it had some similarities to our own basement, we said, gosh, maybe we could set up something like that in our basement. So let me show you what we did. So one of the things we did is we painted the walls a different color, moving from green to this blue. We added some of these wood strips that you can see just for some architectural detail. And those are like 2 inches wide and 4 feet long. So obviously we had 8-foot long pieces of wood, cut them in half and used some coming up from the bottom and some coming down from the top. We chose to take some areas that we had previously here where we had going into a storage area in our basement to add a door where previously we just had like a curtain, just a sliding curtain. And since we bought these bifold doors, then we needed to put on this wood here just to make sure these doors stayed straight and we're not folding doors anymore. This was another door that previously had just been, a curtain hanging down. So we added another bifold door, closed that off. We then went to this door, which had been a sliding door and had mechanicals up above for the sliding door. Took that out, used that on the other side of the room. Just made this a regular door that opens. I have that. Obviously we added this wood paneling. We had some of these shelves, but then we added some of these areas up here, over here, to sort of close it in and make it look more uniform. We took this bench, cut off the legs to it to make it a little bit lower. It still opens up when the cat's not sitting on there, and has storage, but also it slides right out from here. And then we, of course, did this upholstered thing in the back, added some lights, added a stained glass window that my dad had done some years ago and highlighted that a little bit more. Changed the direction that this door opened from being inward to outward. Took this area here for the shelving for the glassware. That used to be my computer area. Looks a little bit neater now. Added this cabinet that we got at the flea market. And then over here, we took these shelves here. We did not have this part here previously, but wanted to make that look more uniform and close this up here. My wife did all that work. She's really good at doing that stuff. We moved the TV to this side of the room from the other side of the room where it had been. And of course it had a little inlet in the wall for a DVR and that kind of thing, which we filled in with drywall and mudded over and so on. And then this door here is using the hardware from where we used to have the sliding door on the other side of the room, and now used it over here so we close things in a little bit more. Had to add a little bit to the bottom of the door so it would actually be long enough to reach the ground. Kind of filled in the wood there, boxed it in, added the handle, covered up where the hole previously had been for the for the doorknob, and closed this part here and added that wall there, because if we had not added that little bit there, then when we closed the door, it would not have actually filled in the entire opening. So, little things like that sometimes make a big difference, but it does take a lot of extra time and effort to do that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and maybe it'll give you some thoughts on what you could do in your own hangout. Thank you very much for listening.